Okay. Hopefully, hopefully I am now live. It didn't do its usual countdown, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Never mind. And I've had to rejoin for Facebook and goodness knows what else. And you can't even see me yet because I've been setting up the craft desk. There we go. Hello, everyone. So I'm here with another live. I wasn't going to do too many this time. Got problems. My mum's not very well, so I haven't really had time. But I wanted to do one today because next Wednesday, week on Wednesday, I am off to Cologne to join Stamping Up for Onstage. Possibly my last one. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. Which is really exciting because I love going to Germany. I've not been to Cologne, so I'm looking forward to seeing the cathedral. And there's also a fabulous chocolate museum, apparently. So I need to go and see that. Sounds a bit like the Lindt chocolate place I went to with my friend last June when we were in Switzerland. But yes, hopefully I shall manage to do that before the onstage actually starts. Onstage runs from the Thursday to the Saturday. So I've got all day Thursday. I arrive on Wednesday, so I've got all day Thursday. So yes, Margaret, I am looking forward to seeing you in Cologne. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be good. There's a few people I hope to catch up with. So there we go. Anyway, let us talk. So I thought today I'd do this live because I've been making swaps. I've been making a ridiculous number of swaps. Here are my swaps in the box. You can see them all. I've got some to add to today. Whoops, fallen over. The space to fill in here, so I'm going to fill some in today. So I wanted to show you where I got my inspiration from and what I'm doing. So I will just plop up to my craft desk and put that on. There we go. And I'm using this particular set. It is the Endless Love set, and you've got these lovely dies, and I've used this one here to cut out my hearts for this project. And I'm also using some of the stamps. I'm using the hugs and kisses and the hearts, just to make it really simple. So this was the project that I'd made. I made this for husband for Valentine's Day, and it's got a little Lindt chocolate teddy inside. And I made it quite complicated because I did 2 of these cutouts and stamped both of those, had an extra sentiment. I wanted to make it a little bit simpler for swaps because it takes time to make these things. And if you're making a lot of swaps, which I tend to, I think I'm making 60, I think, in total, then it does take up a bit of time. So I've prepared an awful lot of this to start off with, and I hope to make the last 6 or whatever it is, 2, 4, 6, or 8, I think, today. So we'll see how we go. So these fit a Lindt chocolate teddy, as you can see. Now, if you have a different size suite, and it doesn't come out either, it's sort of stuck in there. If you have a different size suite, then you might have to do a bit of measurements to see that this will fit a Lindt chocolate teddy. It will fit a round, one of the Lindor type chocolates. Those will fit in as well. I tried those. But you may need to adjust the sizes just a little bit if you are doing something else. So for each one, you need a strip of DSP, and you want any pattern, you want it to be running long ways so that it runs around the around here, as you can see with this one, with the hearts going around. Yeah. So you want any pattern going the correct way. I mean, it will mean that one side of it, the hearts are running the different way, but you know, fair enough. I don't think people are going to look at that too much. And these pieces need to be 15 centimetres long by 3.5 centimetres wide. If you're working with inches, that is about 6 inches long and around 1.5 inches wide. We'll make something the same way. And we're going to score them both at 6.5 centimetres and 8.5 centimetres. So we're going to score 2 at once because we can do with DSP. So I'm putting the end of the DSP to the mark at 6.5. Make sure my cutting blade is well out of the way and just scoring with my scoring blade. Then I'm going to move it to 8.5. If you're working in inches, you'll need to do it 2 3/4 and 3.5. And that will work for inches. So we'll do that at 6.5 and 8.5. So I've got 2, you see them there. If I bend it, you'll see. Bend them both together, it doesn't matter. You can see I've just made that roughly in the middle so that it will fold over. Oops, where's my camera? Like that. So I am going to just do all of these pieces so that I've got them all. Oops, got all the bits here. Whee. So two at a time, so I'll get through these quite quickly. Make sure they're lined up. There we go. So 6.5 and 8.5. So it's fairly quick to do these in batches. And for swaps, we need to do them in batches because quite honestly, there's so many, doing so many, you have to get into a sort of routine with them all. So I thought I might as well do all of these while I've got this out, all 8. There we go. I might actually have 9 Lindt Teddies. That means I've got to eat one. How sad. I think I can manage that. Right, so that is all of my scoring done. Then the other things you need for this are, you need a short bit of ribbon. I did it as a bow here. I'm not going to faff around doing bows. I'm just going to do a simple knot. And we're only going to put 1 heart on it. And I'm also going to, I've already cut out my hearts. This is the, you see the picture of this one. This is from the Endless Love dies. And I'm simply going to stamp on these hearts. I'm not going to add extra bits of card and with extra sentiments. I'm just going to stamp it on here. And I'll show you what I've done. So for this is retired paper. It is Countryside Rose, I think it was called. It was one we got free for meeting some target or other. I can't remember what, but it was some while ago. So I'm going to use a lighter one. I'm going to use Pretty in Pink for my hearts. And I'm just using those as a bit of a background. So I'm just going to stamp them up. If you only have one colour of ink pad, then you could stamp off, and that will give you a lighter colour for your hearts on the background of these, for these stamps. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment in full colour in Strawberry Slush, or if you're using the same ink pad, don't stamp off. Well, that one's a little bit damaged, never mind, it'll have to do. Right, so those are my hearts stamped, and then I'm simply going to stamp my greeting across the top using a darker colour. So in this case, I'm using Strawberry Slush, which sort of matches all the pinks in all the different papers I've got, so it will do. So I'm just going to literally stamp that across the middle, and you can see how it sticks out. Now, I did a whole load of blue ones as well with blue paper, and the blue, this was the January, was it product of the month, or December? I can't remember. Anyway, it was the True Blue Florals, the product of the month. And this time I used the same. I used Balmy Blue, and I stamped off the heart, so it's paler, and stamped the sentiment in the full ink. So you can do it either way, whichever way suits you. This time I've used a lighter ink and a darker ink, so it works fine. So I'm just going to stamp this across. I'm not doing it on a separate piece of paper, a separate piece of card to stick on, for time reasons. So you can see you can get quite a what do they call it, a production line? Yeah, production line going, which is great fun. Just to finish up all of the stamping. So there are my hearts stamped. How quick was that? I've done so many of these now. Honestly, I'll probably do them in my sleep. Just cleaning my stamps. They do get stained when you're using the red inks, unfortunately, but that doesn't affect how the stamps work. So never worry for that. So you're not making so many swaps. I don't mind. Wanted to make something for St. Patrick's Day as it's so close. Yeah. Make my own DSP with Shy Shamrock. Oh, thank you, Margaret. I shall make sure I keep one of mine for you, definitely. Yes, I did a Shamrock card. Hopefully you've seen that in the blog. And I used actually the Endless Love stamp set. I used the small heart. Where was it? I can't remember. Was it? Yes, the small heart here. And I made shamrocks by using 4 of those together. Where is it? I can show you. I think it's over here. No, of course I can't find it when I want to. I don't know where I put it. Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I can. I did think about making a card front, actually using that and doing shamrocks as well. But yeah, so you can see how the little heart, just 4 of them together, makes a little sort of cluster. And that works really quite well as shamrocks. Doesn't matter if they're not all completely equal, of course, because shamrocks are natural things. So yeah, don't worry about it. Right, so how to put all of these together. So I've done all of that. What I'm going to do is just very quickly fold these, trying to make sure they're straight, because it does help. So when you're folding to make it straight, you just line up the edges of a piece with the edge of your other piece, and that makes sure it is straight. Like that. I can decide which of the sides I actually want to use, because I could use either. Quite like the stripy side actually for some of these. Perhaps we'll do some with the stripy side outwards. and some with the, yeah, we'll do 2 with the stripy slide out and 2 with the flower side out. So I like double-sided paper, means you get a lot more for your, more bangs for your buck, as they say, don't they? Saw that, very clever. Thank you, Margaret. Yes, it was good fun. That's a bit too bright, the other side of that, so I don't think we'll use that. It'll be a bit too much. Right, so that's all of those done. So the next thing I need is my tear and tape. And what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of tape across the top of one side of these strips. So I'll do it all. You're just putting it literally by the top. Doesn't have to be completely exact, but just a little bit of tear and tape across the top of these strips so that we can stick it together. So I'll just quickly do that. In the instructions in my blog post of making the one I showed you at the start, then I actually did undo I punched it and then undid it so you can actually see it. But you want to put the strip on and the glue before you do the punching. I'll show you, because it just makes it a lot easier. If you try and punch 2 sides and make them equal, it does not work. And I did try punching these and then sticking them together, and then I got a little bit of glue showing through the hole, so that wasn't much good. So I found this was by far the best way. Put the tape on first, stick it together, and then punch the hole. So there are all my bits with my tape on. So now we're going to stick them together just by peeling off the tape and making sure the ends line up beautifully. Now nice and even, and we're just going to stick them together. So do that with all of them. Oops, making sure it sticks neatly together. So you can see we're forming a sort of little tenty thing. So do this with all of these pieces. I had a very happy Sunday making all the rest of these, so I think I'll have 60 in total, which is nice. There might even be a few more. Still plenty to share with people. I've still got boxes and boxes of swaps from previous on stages, actually, but they do give you nice ideas for things. I like to do little 3D ones. A lot of people do card fronts, or even little cards. Note cards are quite popular. They're quite good. But yes, it is lovely. And I've got a wonderful sort of origami box last year, which I have copied since, which was just lovely. So yeah, worth going to on stage. It is a bit expensive now, I have to say, but yeah, this is probably going to be my last one. So I thought I might as well enjoy it. So there they are all put together, and then I need my hole punch, and I'm using the bigger one. How did I learn to do that? Yeah, because the first ones I made, I used the small one, and then I had real trouble getting the ribbon through. So I'm just going to punch a hole. I'm not measuring it. If you want to be obsessional about it, you could actually measure to make sure they're exactly in the center. I'm not. I'm just going for it. So you can see that I'm just putting a little hole in the top of each of these. So I'm leaving a little bit of room because I don't want the ribbon to pull out, but I don't want it too far down because then it gets in the way of actually sliding the teddy in. These are a little bit too close to the top, actually. Move it down a little bit. That one's better. Right, and just need to get rid of all the bits from in here, so it's clean for when I want to use it again. Come on out, little circle. There we go. Ooh, just get rid of those mess. There. So then very simply, just going to put it together by sliding some ribbon, which I've already cut with a diagonal cut, so it's much easier to push a little tiny corner, says she, not being able to do it, of course, on camera, to push a tiny corner through the hole. Come on, you can go through there. That's it. And pull it through there, and then take it through my little holder. And then, as I said, I'm making this really simple. I'm just going to tie it as a knot. I'm not faffing around tying bows. I am just going to tie a knot. So there we go, like that. And then get my ribbon scissors, and then I can trim the edges to make them look neat. And finally, I can just slide in our little Lindt Teddy. Not finally, penultimately, slide in our Lindt Teddy. And you can see they're not falling out. They're nice and they just fit tightly. And it's worth doing that when you're making little boxes for things. Don't make them so the thing falls out. That's horrible. And then just to finish, I am going to just stick on. I've just printed out some little labels with my Crafty Carol's details and the website link to go to the post, which tells people how to make it. It's very useful. I hate it when people forget to put some sort of thing on their swaps, and I don't know who they are, so I can't ever thank them or give them any sort of thanks online or whatever. If I'm doing a video, I can't actually say who it was I got the idea from. So always when you're making swaps, do put your name and address on it so that people know where you're from and know who you are, which would be great. So I'm hoping to meet a lot of friends here. Hello, Jenny. Oh, lovely to see you again from sunny South Africa. It's sunny here today, I'm very glad to say. It's beautiful today. We've had so much rain during January. It's just been horrendous. So it's lovely to have some sunshine today, I have to say. And it's beautiful, completely clear sky today, and it's just lovely. So I'm just going to put all these together, and they're very... Yeah, it's probably a bit boring seeing me now, but let me know how you're getting on with your crafting and any queries you might have while I'm just doing exactly the same thing one after the other to finish these. But I did want to show you, oops, come on, work. I'm using up an old tape glue. It's not brilliant, but it'll do. So yeah, as I said, the stamping, always think about, sometimes you don't need to have 2 colours of ink pads to do stamping like this. You can just use 1 colour of ink pad, and that will do. If you stamp off one of the things, it will be lighter, and therefore you can use 1 colour ink pad like I did with the blue ones I showed you. I cut these deliberately fairly long, these bits of ribbon, because I can't bear trying to tie knots with tiny bits of ribbon. So it does pay to do that. So getting on with these, nearly finished now. Trying to think how many that is. I think it's 64 in total this will make, which I'm quite pleased about, because at one point I wasn't sure I was going to make any, because Mum's been in hospital, so it's coming out today apparently. I'm still trying to get hold of her, but I think she's forgotten to put her phone on charge. That happens. Anyway, so oops, let's go in. So what do you like making best, folks? What do you prefer to make cards? Do you like scrapbooking? Do you like to make gifts like this? What do you actually like making most of all? I must admit, I love making cards, and I love making 3D cards in particular, fun fold cards. And I do like making little gifts, little 3D gifts like this. I just love doing that. So there are, as you've seen on my blog, quite a lot of those. And yeah, hope you have a lovely time next week. It's Helen. Hello, Helen. Yeah, I hope we will. Sadly, too expensive. I know it is. That's why I think this will be my last one, because I just, it's not, the actual on stage is getting a lot more expensive, as are Stampin' Up products generally, sadly, which is fair enough. But then by the time you've added on your flights and your accommodation, did I stick a thing on the back of that one? No, I didn't. Flights and accommodation, it does get horribly expensive. I just thought I'm going to splash out this time, and I shall do it. So Margaret, what hotel, where are you staying? I need to find out so I can be in contact with you. But I think we are in contact on WhatsApp, so we can find where each other is, can't we? I think there should only be 3 leaves, 1 for each god in the Trinity, love the fun folds and scrapbooks. 3, what do you mean 3 leaves? Sorry. Oh, on shamrocks. Okay. No, I thought there were 4. I'm sure shamrocks had 4. Anyway. Oh dear. Sorry if I've got that wrong. That's my shamrock card and I'm sticking to it. But you, I'm sure, have got it correct, Margaret. Fair enough. I didn't know that about shamrocks. That's something I've learned today. So thank you for that. Yeah. So, yes, what do you prefer to do? Do you like making cards? Do you like making gifts? Do you like scrapbooking? I have to say, I know Stampin' Up are going a lot more into scrapbooking now. I do not do scrapbooking. I've tried a couple of times. I just don't enjoy it. And crafting for me is about enjoying it, and I don't enjoy scrapbooking. So I'm afraid you will never find scrapbooking tips from me because I just do not enjoy it, I'm afraid. So there's plenty that do, and you can get lots of ideas from them if you are into that. I just, personally, I'm not. So I didn't. And I don't do it. But I do love making cards. I make so many cards. I really need to send more cards, and certainly I need to find places to give them away to people so they can send them, which is I'm very happy with. I don't mind making cards for people to give away to others. So nobody's putting up what they prefer to see. That's very sad. Come on, let's see what you actually prefer to make. What do you make, Jenny, out in South Africa, where you don't get Stampin' Up products, of course, sadly, but I'm sure you have other wonderful craft supplies out there. So somewhere I've never been. I must admit, I know some of you knew, we went off to Australia and New Zealand just before Christmas. We had such a brilliant time. I absolutely adore New Zealand. It's such a wonderful place. I really could live there. It was just wonderful. You'll say, oh yes, lovely. So where we are. What's on WhatsApp in the city at Patrick's? St. Patrick's used the shamrock to explain about the Trinity. Do you know, I didn't know that. That's amazing. Thank you for teaching me. I really didn't know that. You'll send the hotel address. Thank you. Yes, we will arrange to meet up. That's definitely what we shall do. And yeah. Helen, you really enjoy doing swaps, especially the cards. It was great. Oh, I know. It was great when we had on stage in the UK. That's where I started going. And it was just brilliant. It was, you know, it was easier to get to. It was usually cheaper because most of us could either find family or friends or knew of places to stay. We didn't have to just guess from websites and things. And yeah, it was brilliant when we had that. But I don't know why they don't use the UK anymore. Probably that's to do with Brexit as well, who knows? Or it could be just that they can't find venues big enough. There aren't very many venues that I think are big enough. When they did them for our countries, it wasn't so bad. Jenny, you love making cards and all kinds of boxes. Lovely. So you're my sort of person, Jenny, which is probably why you found me. And thank you very much for that and following me. Now, I have said that, as you know, because of my mum, basically, I haven't really got time to do a live every week now. But I'm hoping I can get back to it in future. And I would like to get back to it in future. So do keep up with my emails, because then you'll find out if that is the case. And hopefully it will be. And we will get back to more regular lives. I'm still trying to do a few videos and things. And I was struggling to do videos and live. So I'm trying to do a few more videos because I can fit those in much more when I've got time, which is better. But yeah, I'm just sorry. I haven't got the time at the moment to do as much as I did. It's just how life is. I'll show you my box in a minute, because this is absolutely brilliant. Have I actually forgotten to, perhaps I've got some extra ones of those, I might have. Or I might have forgotten to stick those on the back of some. I'm taking some of my business cards anyway, so if I have forgotten to stick something on the back, I can just give somebody a business card and they will still be able to find my blog. So yeah, yeah, it's a shame they're not doing UK on stage. Don't know if they ever will again in future. Just don't know. We shall see. We'll probably hear a lot more news at On Stage about what their plans are for the future. We usually do, which is nice to find out. And of course, we'll get a sight of the new catalogue before anybody else, which is one of the lovely reasons for going to On Stage, and see what the new catalogues are. I was very surprised. I hadn't heard any rumours about the fact they were changing how often they were doing catalogues, but they're now doing just 3 catalogues a year. You'd like to join in Zoom class, but it never seems to happen. Now, why is that? Because I do a Zoom class once every... Is that just because it's a different time for you, Helen? I don't know. That's very sad. I could adjust that time slightly. Thursday mornings do suit me, but I can adjust the time a little bit. If there's something that would be better for you, do let me know. Because we have one on this Thursday coming, where I'm going to make a little... What am I making? Oh, a quilt card, that's right. Another little, it's not really a fun fold, it does involve folding, but it involves folding DSP. So yes, so it's a sort of fun fold. But so if you can join me on, that's Thursday at 11 o'clock. And you just sign up on the, I was giving out the Zoom link in my emails, but unfortunately I fell foul of the data protection people. They don't like it because apparently it encourages spam and encourages people to just to join in when they shouldn't and spam the broadcasts. There we go. There are all my swaps. Finished, hooray! So I've got a big box to take, which is nice. So there we go. So yes, Zoom class this week, our Craftalong this week is this Thursday, 2 days time, 11 o'clock. And you can get the Zoom link by registering for a class on the website. You just book the class. It goes through a sort of payment thing. There is no payment, it is free. But you have to go through the system because I don't know of any other way to do it. And then you will get sent the Zoom link so you can join me. So if you can manage that, Helen, it'd be lovely. Or let me know if there are better times when I could do these things for you. So there. I had a cup of coffee somewhere. I don't know where I've put it, but I'll have to go and find that in a minute so I don't forget it. But hopefully that's given you some ideas for these. I've got all of these lovely. Let me just show you again my lovely swaps that I've got ready. So I'll be wandering around with this box. Don't know what the box was. Oh, I think it's my desk lamp actually, my desk stand for my phone that came in this box. But yes, hopefully lots and lots of hugs and kisses, Lindt bears to share with people. And hopefully they'll like those. I'm actually quite pleased with these swaps this time. And I usually am every time, to be honest, but there we go. So, yeah, let me know, Helen, if there's a different time that would suit you better. Because I did wonder about a lunchtime, whether that's better with people, but obviously got to think about making my own lunch too. But I'm sure I can work around that. But yeah, first Thursday of the month is always my free Zoom class. So do join in with that. I'm actually thinking of perhaps doing another couple of Zoom classes. I do an in-person class, but obviously that's only for people who live locally. It's difficult. And my preference is to do things online, either these lives or the Zooms. So do let me know, please. My email is carol@craftycarolscards.co.uk. And do send me any ideas or any times that you think would be better for Zooms for you. I'd love to hear that, Helen. Or Jenny, if you can join me at all. And I always give you a sort of preview of the project we're going to make with all the measurements the previous week, so you can decide if you want it or not, and then just sign up for the Zoom class and you will get the Zoom thing. We'll be in touch. Yes, please do, Helen. And yes, we will have a lovely time. I will probably do a live when I'm back at some point, just to show the swaps I've got, because that's always great fun to see other people's swaps. So hopefully you can join me again then. And make sure you're on my email list so you get information about the next Zoom class. And perhaps see if you can block out some time on the first Thursday of every month from 11 till 12-ish, 12:30, something like that, to craft along with me, because I give you all the measurements of the things you need and then we put it together ourselves during that class. I use Zoom because then we can actually talk to each other. I like the restream and the live ones I'm doing like these, but you can't actually talk. You can only type your chats, which is great. And I do try and keep an eye on it. And I don't think I've missed any today, but it's much better to actually talk in person and actually see each other on the Zoom. So I hope you can make that sometime, and perhaps we'll do more of those in the future. We shall see. Thank you very much for joining me today. I will go now and finish putting the post up, and that'll be up on the blog later on. And I will see you all again very soon. Thank you very much for joining me today, and keep an